Hi, I'm Gunnar. Today I'm going to make a short review about the flash memory. Um, Flash memory is very familiar device to us because we usually use the USB, SSD, HDD like that. And when you look at the position of the flash memory, Samsung Electron has the world best 3D NAND technologies, and it has the largest position in flash memory market. Yep. So when we look at the cell operation of the flash memory, it is very, I mean, it has one transistor in one cell, and it is very similar to just simple MOSFET. There are gate, insulator, body, and source and drain in the simple MOSFET, and the only different thing is there are floating gate located at the middle of the insulator. So this operations principle is very simple. When we put the gate bias on the control gate, this channel will be turned on, and if you wanna write some information on the floating gate by bit line, the charge in the channel um, goes to the flash memory and it traps by Fowler Newton tunneling. So when we want to put the more information next time, we have to put the more bias on the control gate because of the charge trap on the floating gate changes demands the more higher threshold voltage. So yep, and um, we could consider it used as a binary information because um, let's say just the normal state of the MOSFET. I mean there are nothing on the floating gate is state one, and if there are charge trap on the floating gate, so the threshold voltage is high. Let's consider it as state zero. So when we put the read bias on the control gate, a read bias is just middle. I mean, just between from the state 1 gate bias and state 0 gate bias. So if we put the read bias on the control gate, if this device is turned on, we could say, oh, there is nothing on the floating gate. So this is state 1. And if this device is turned off, it means it's state 0 and it has some information on the floating gate. And also, if you want to erase the information on the floating gate, we could make it by you put the reverse bias, negative bias on the control gate so that surface energy potential goes down and charge from the floating gate can move back to the channel by Fowler-Noddenheim tunneling. But as time goes by, this floating gate got a problem because if we use this device longer and longer, this charge trap on the floating gate accumulates and this device threshold voltage changes, increases. So we have to make a more it demands more operating voltage, so this device will break down. So instead of this, we used charge trap nitride instead of floating gate, and it is more better because it has more better data retention, and we could make lower gate stacks, so we could have more simple manufacturing process, and we could have a much more lower operating bias. Yep. And we studied about the NOR versus NAND. In device integration density perspective, NOR is less denser than the NAND because NOR has bit line and word line at all the transistor, and NAND has there are several transistor connected just one bit line, but NOR is faster to read because if you want to read at the some transistor, we could just access to that transistor because there are word line, bit line in the old transistor. And NAND is has more dense than NOR, and it is faster to write or and erase because, as I told before, um, there are many transistors connected to the just one bit line. So if you wanna write or erase some information, we could just turn on and turn off the bit lines to control all the several transistors at one time. And we studied about a single, multi-level, and triple-level, quadruple-level cells. Um, as I told you before, in just simple, simple cell, we could use as a binary information, right? But if we make more many standard threshold voltage, I mean, if we could put the many more read voltage and read many information, we could use as a multi-level and triple-level and quadruple-level cell. But as I told before, if we use this device longer and longer, charge trap accumulates, and this device threshold voltage demands more bias, right? So this triple, as cells level goes higher, like triple, quadruple level cell, device life expectancy is very lower than single or multi-level cell, but it still could use a very large memory. Like for the quadruple level cell, the terabyte written is about 360 terabyte. Yep. And yep. So thank you.